really quick how that jumped right onto the live. This is a surprise roundtable with everyone's favorite Gary. He's the birther of the idea of the roundtable and the master editor for all the great videos you've seen on account of the Neville one. But most of you probably haven't seen it, so go look. uh, Today's topic is circumstances don't matter, but we're going to go all over the place and probably just catch up a little. We haven't talked in a minute. Well, we talked yesterday, but um, yeah, circumstances don't matter. Today I told them let's go live. I left my charger in my locker. I'm running around at work. Usually this is like my dead day. People kept calling me. I never get calls. And then on top of that, then we couldn't connect on here. All these things were going wrong. And next thing you know, we still made it work. I'm down to 27% battery, but we're going to go as long as we can until it dies. But anyway, welcome in, Gary. This
Thanks, man.
prefacing to all of the one viewer who's here. Everyone else can ask the same questions, but I won't repeat. Gary's been trying to organize a little bit
Yeah,
because I'm
exactly.
reading and reading all the comments. Welcome, chat. I was reading. I started reading the fucking like guidelines. But welcome in, Gary.
I'm going for the V cut today. It's a
There we
creamiest,
go.
and to give everyone a bit of jazz and a bit of what's the word? Bit of luck in their fortune. I got not that I believe in luck in that sense. I got the Monte Cristo matches from the cigar lounge in Caesar's Palace in Vegas.
Oh, damn. There you go. And
And
you create your own luck with it because now you've just
back,
blessed them to be lucky. And it's funny enough, too. That's the name of the cigar lounge I go to. It's called Monte Cristo.
it might be the same. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think they might have chain. They might be a chain. I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah.
They probably do. And and today's the one day where I won't get to enjoy the cigar with Gary, but I did yesterday while driving and maybe or maybe not FaceTiming. Let's see.
I'll do
Listening
the
to
cut
while at the
live.
gym. Oh, there you go, Josh. What's up, Josh and John? You guys are always here, so I appreciate you guys joining us. Um, yeah, figured it's just a good time to catch up. It's like a round table thing, see where the flow takes us. We had a really good conversation yesterday, and like I was on point this morning. I had all these things I wanted to record, talk about, and then I lost it throughout the day. But you just gotta realize it's working out in your favor somehow. And there's times where it's like I was like getting upset trying to get this whole live set up, and it's like, well, if I can't set this up with Gary, uh, like this is what we planned. Why is it, what's going on? I don't see how it works out in my favor. Maybe because Gary got all dressed up and stuff. If it didn't work out, he'll go out and have like a really good day and people complimenting him or something like that, or get invited to be in a movie or something. I don't know, and I would have just went to sleep. Like that's how it would have worked out, and then the next live would have been better. But I think also look at we have a higher Gary. Can you see the chat and the viewers and stuff? I don't know if your screen
Yeah.
mirrors.
So I've got my computer, so I can see the chat. I can see the chat on here, but I can actually respond because I've got my computer, my desktop, or my laptop. But
Oh, okay, cool.
I,
So
like Sauron, I can see everything.
yeah, and here's how it worked out in our favor. I just realized it because Ink texted me when we were getting set up. She said, "Are you going live?" And who's the guest of the roundtable? It's because I kept starting and restarting, starting and restarting. I guess I don't know. You guys could answer this. Was it saying that we were going live, and then it's like sparking interest now? So the failure of the technology or our inadequacy with it was what worked out in our favor to get more viewers than usually. We're at 11 right now. We usually stand around 5 to 7, and then it goes up and down, but now 10. What's up, Loco and Courtney? How you guys doing? We're just here catching up and proving that circumstances don't matter, because otherwise this wouldn't have happened. And I think this was more like one of those things where it's like when you have like no attachment to where things are going to go to, they do work out better for you. It's like for me, it's like I really wanted to sleep, but I also really wanted to go live, and it's like it's a win-win when you find the silver lining and everything. You're always successful.
Yeah, I agree. And
Yeah.
I think I've been experimenting, kind of just different. I don't know. I don't like the technique anymore. I've I think I've also come away from, like, I appreciate people journal and I journal, but I've come away from journaling a little bit. I just want to be more in the knowing,
Yeah.
you know,
It's
like,
kinda yeah, I like that a little bit better now. It's like where I kinda broke away. It's like sats was always my thing. I was like, I like to meditate, do the sats, visualize, and it's like that was always my thing. And then it's like I didn't really like affirmations that much, scripting here and there. But like you said, getting into the knowing of something is like it's like the graduation step of manifesting. It's like you just know, hey, this is gonna work out in my favor and I got this. And then you just leave it alone instead of because in a way the techniques are tools to help you get into that feeling state, but sometimes I think they can be contradicting, especially when you're doing anything too much. It's just a reminder that you don't have it keeps you out of the knowing.
I um I was just getting burnt out with affirmation. Like, if something didn't go as I desired at that point in time, and I'd be like, okay, right, should I affirm or should I just affirm? And I'd affirm for it. I was just like, I'm too tired for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I got it. I don't care. I got it. It's mine. I don't
Yeah.
care. And or do you know what? I when I'm My meditation is when I'm stretching up for a workout or down for a workout, and I always kind of synchronize my mind and my body. Sorry, my mind and my heart. So thought and emotion. And sometimes it's easier just. And I was saying this to you last night, Nick. I was saying sometimes it's easier just to imagine a like a blank canvas, because then it's almost neutral state, but it's almost imagining neutral state, because you're saying, well, you know, imagine you're painting a picture. You know, if it's just a blank canvas, you can't paint. There's nothing on it yet. So
Yeah.
if it blank, you're you're still leaving yourself open to the desire, but you're not. You know, you're not running any kind of risk of sort of painting negative thoughts, like
Yeah.
think, rub it out. But if you just keep it a blank canvas, it's just like the void.
Yeah. I feel like I've been getting more success with that lately, and then it's kind of something too I wanted to bring up almost that blank canvas thing too. It's being happy and a lot of it's like you can find happiness in the unknown. You can find happiness in what you do have now, and that gratitude. It was something that came up in the Discord the other day, where somebody was writing about, I have my desires that I wanted, but I don't really know what I want now, or where I should go to now, or what I should manifest. And I've been in that situation for maybe a year now, where it's like I kind of just like I'm I'm chilling, but it's like you feel like the negative thoughts creep in, and it's like you need to do something. It's like, but if I don't, that's why I'm like, go from your passion. Like that blank canvas is kind of like taking from your passion. I think, where it's like I don't know what I want right now, but if I don't want anything, that means I have everything. So just relax and be cool, calm, and natural, and find the positives in everything.
Serene confidence.
Yeah. And then I was gonna jump off the point too that you made about stretching, doing it while you stretch. It's like everybody thinks you got to sit down and like cross your legs and like sit there and meditate. You do it while stretching. I do it while doing my cardio at the gym. It's like both of us over cigars. You could sit there and meditate, and it's
Yeah.
just finding silence. It's literally all the times of the day. It's like anytime you're thinking, you're manifesting, and it's just wherever your thoughts go, you're in charge of directing them.
Yeah, I agree with that. And even when, I don't smoke cigars very often. My go to is generally at night. Nick,
Yeah,
we a lot of times where we've just, we've chatted and it's over a cigar, and
yeah,
when we on one, or we've just had a chat, and that. But I was saying to you last night, I can't have more than one. Even last night, I was like, after like I spoke to you, I was having a cigar. I was thinking, yeah, but like I was going to do another one in like later in the evening when I've
yeah,
sort of settled down. I couldn't do it. Like it just so I can only really have sort of one. Like that is my Once it's done, it's done. That for the day. That is my For me. That is meditative. I don't have to do it
yeah.
every day, but it,
Yeah, it's not a necessity for your meditation, but when it pops up, it's good.
yeah,
It's like yeah, it was one of those things where it's like we talked about that last night too. It's like one more than one cigar a day is hard to do. It's like for me, I think the most I've ever done was three in a day, but that was not a fun night or anything after that. There were consequences and a bill to be paid for that.
There
um,
you
it's
feel
like
it.
either something ain't gonna be right in tummy town, or you're going to be throwing up. Is it this either way, throwing up or shitting your brains out, like, or just being complete dizzy and like it's like almost drinking too much. But
And it's even
like,
worse when you like when I was in Greece, I was in Crete, a few weeks ago,
yeah,
and I was drinking raki, and I don't drink very, I'm not
yeah,
a big fool. Like I don't need it. I can have a Coke, and when I'm having a cigar, I actually like ice cold water or an ice
yeah,
cold.
yeah.
Um, I'm not.
I
I'm not.
like the Red Bull with it. I prefer the Red Bull with it. That's that's a good mixture.
It has to be ice cold because it complements like the heat of the cigar will really warms up your lungs and your mouth.
Yeah,
That ice cold kind of brings it down a bit, and it's quite nice, refreshing.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, well, I was having raki, and like I get free everything in Crete. I mean, I get free
yeah.
everything,
There's your
uh,
assumptions too.
and they just give me like free drinks and free
Yeah,
shots because I know the owners of some of the bars and the hotels and and so I was just drinking one night, and then I had a cigar on my balcony, and at the end of the night,
yeah,
like when I finished it and I went out for a walk, I was like, wow, like I wasn't really drunk. I just had a few but with the cigar, it really got me high. Like
yeah. It gives you that lightheadedness with it, and it's like it will accelerate the drinking almost. But it's like, what was the? Oh, I was making this point not with. I think I talked with you about it, but when I did the live with the Queen of Manifesting the other day, she's big on TikTok. I don't know what her what's it called. She's been a follower of this channel for a while, well since the very beginning. She told me, but when we were talking about like different like alternative ways of meditating and things like that, we're gonna get a note. We're gonna freeze soon because it's at 21%, so it's gonna freeze the video and I'll have to unfreeze it. But we were talking about like different ways that are unconventional for meditating and manifesting things, and I brought up the point about like Neville liked to drink and stuff like that, and it was like I've noticed that, and I don't advocate for it, but it's like if you're having one or two and you get that little buzz, or you have a cigar and you get that, like you said, that lightheaded, cool feeling where it's like, whoa, I'm relaxed. I feel it's like, especially when you're not thinking about anything and you get that feeling, it's like, okay, don't go now drink to excess. Don't go like calling SP. Don't go do no crazy stuff. Just sit down. And it's like, all right, now you're in the moment, because I feel like the thing is it removes your inhibitions, or the cigar like relaxes you. And the point of it is that stuff's like a cheat sheet to get there. When you actually get there, like you could drop into it at any time. It's like you don't need to play on your phone all day and get that brain rot and all that from the stupid videos. You could just sit down and like relax, and you could put yourself in that feeling of like that you would get there, and it's easier.
yeah, one
But
hundred.
almost like a parallel, because sometimes people don't know what they're supposed to feel like. It's like, well, imagine the cigar, imagine how you feel that when you're a little buzzed. That's the feeling of like, wow, nothing bothers me. I could just observe. I observe what is. I'm not attached to anything. Oh, it didn't freeze the video. Uh, I'm not attached to anything, and I'll go from here. Now I could create whatever I want, and I'm not feeling bad about it because it's just like you're watching a movie now. The movie about what you do want.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've had a lot of chats over the last. I mean, one on one.
Yeah,
You've seen my progression
yeah,
up, you know, and one of the best times. We won't go into the story, but one of the best
yeah,
times was when I didn't have my phone.
yeah.
Um,
I remember that.
and I didn't have access to, readily access YouTube and any of that, and this was lasted for about sort of a month or two. And when I came out of it, um, it was just amazing. Like, and it's amazing how much your phone really, if you're, especially if you're into manifesting, it really has, you know, like it can have not the effect that you want. And when you really get away from the phone, it really reduces the anxiety, which reduces the negative spiraling, which would, so you end up, and then you're able just to put the phone down and just be like, I don't care anymore. I
Yeah,
don't care. Like,
that's
and you,
that's something I would want to do, and it's like it's hard when you're trying to like run this business at the same time. But it's like and it's like that's why on the weekends it's like it's harder if like for you or inked or like the people who are like in regular contact with me. It's like you'll notice Saturday you'll have me until about when I leave here, and then like and then after that I kind of disappear. It's like Saturday night, Sunday. There's like when I'm gone. Sometimes Friday nights too. But it's like that's where I kind of like I don't look at the phone. I listen to it, but it's like I'll look at the messages. But it's like and then early in the morning too. I'll try not to look at it, but it's hard to do, especially like when you're involved. Like your circumstances put you in a position to have to be in there, to be like that without the phone, and it wound up working to your benefit. It's almost like the Raz Al Ghul going to the mountain and having to go deal
Heaven
with
forbid.
like learn this art form because now
That,
I hate it because I get like brain rotted out too. I'm sitting there trying to meditate and I think about one thing. I'm like, oh, I should look that up. And if the phone's right here on my lap, I try to leave it in another room because it's like if it's there, it's like I'm observing thoughts and it's like, oh, I should look that up. No, that phone doesn't have the answers. You have the answers. Leave it the fuck alone.
yeah, yeah. I'm still, I because obviously, I mean, about the gateway experience, the Monroe experiment. And
Refresh my mind. Maybe I
but
probably know it, but I don't know the name.
which decade it was, but the Monroe, it's called the gateway experience. They put people into basically what's called the hemisync to sync the
Oh,
left side of the brain and
yeah, yeah.
basically consciousness. And they did things like astral projection
That's
and
like the government study of all of
it was
this.
a government study. It
Yeah,
was classified now, but basically, I I know you get people that are very sort of logical, and you get people very sort of creative um and so you got your logical left side, creative right side.
yeah,
Um, I try very hard. Well, I don't try very hard, but somehow I'm able to kind of switch between the two. There is a logical side to me, but there's also a very creative side. And I know people that are
yeah,
creative, very easy to with manifestation, not to be like, oh well, how's it gonna happen? How's that gonna happen? How's that gonna happen?
yeah,
And me, I kind of sometimes because I kind of look into the quantum physics side of it. So in a way, you can migrate the logic into the esoteric. And I do think I truly believe there is a bridge between spirituality and the logic side of it. The science and spirituality. I do believe there is a bridge, and I think that is
yeah,
the key. And I do think when I come away from my phone, that energy comes away with me, and then
yeah,
people are messaging me, and then people I start like people like, well, where'd you go? Oh my god, where'd you it's like
yeah,
people feel it. Honestly, it's
yeah.
weird. It's
And
weird.
then the more like you see results of that, that's almost like the positive feedback loop too. It's like you do something and then you notice something, and that's the kind of thing. It's like, well, what made this happen? It's like, oh, I do this one thing, and it's kind of like you retreating from your phone. What now? People are reaching out to you. You notice that, but it's like now your attention's on that, and you associate it through logic. I stepped away. They reached out. They're wondering where I am. So now you built an assumption on it. And if it's favorable for you, like this particular thing, it's like I know that being away from the phone is good, and people reaching out is good. So it's like you take that positive thing and think the more I step away from my phone, the more people reach out. And now it's like, and then when you see it happen again, that's more 3D feedback to add to the already confident 4D information you had, and then just you stay in that feedback loop. The hard part is when you see something negative first and then go through that. But
But
I kind of veered off on that.
that just adds to the fact that there's just no point in checking this. What's the point?
Exactly.
It's like there's just no point. If I can put my phone away and walk away and then come back and there's a message, what's the point in even trying to check? What's the point? Do you know what I mean? Then you start being like, why have I got my phone on me? Then you start enjoying life for what it is, and getting rid of the technology.
Yeah.
Don't. But everyone stay on the live. Don't start putting
Yeah,
the
yeah.
phone.
Don't wait till the live is done or my phone battery dies. Then we could get off the technology. But also, I'll say, I give a shout out to Hannah. Yes, Skibbity Toilet is brain rot. I'm not going to read all the comments, Gary. I just got to give the shout out because Hannah says hi. So, Ink, tell her hi. Hi to you as well. Austin, what's up, brother? Courtney, what's up? I see you guys are enjoying the shirt. That was a series of unfortunate events. I was going to dress up nice too, but just the way we kind of decided at the last minute to do the surprise live. I'm like, fuck it, people will enjoy the shirt. It's my oversized undershirt, but I'm trying to find a way to balance the because it's harder now. It's like I think that always threw me off, especially like when we're trying to make edits or like do things. It's a lot of incoherent stuff. I'll start out on a point, and then I'm like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And then I start talking to the person, and I come back. We'll always get to the message, but it will be a long way around, and it takes some time.
You are that's definitely an older Nickelodeon t-shirt.
Oh, what?
It's an older Nickelodeon t-shirt because you're missing SpongeBob SquarePants. I love
Oh,
SpongeBob.
shoot. Yeah.
It's
What
got
else?
Rocco. It's definitely like Rocco was old
Rocco
school.
was like mid '90s or early '90s, right?
Those were the days when they put innuendos in the
Oh
cartoon.
yeah, yeah. Like
You
Rocco worked at a phone sex line.
know?
I never realized that's how I got older. I was like, oh man. What was the
When
other? I remember this one, the monster one. That was creepy, but it was
I
good. I forgot what it's called.
loved Real Monsters. I loved Real Monsters.
Yeah,
I
I
love
used to watch it, but I forgot the name.
clips. It's so funny. Yeah.
I gotta rewatch that one. I remember him with the pits and stuff like that because we used to call my brother used to be like, oh, I don't want to shower, so I used to say that was him, the one with the pits.
Favorite was Crumb. I
Crumb.
love
Which one was Crumb? Crumb was this one, right?
yeah, yeah, with the he holds the eyes up,
Oh yeah,
uh,
yeah, that one. Yeah,
and he's really
that was
stingy.
mine too. Uh,
But his voice is funny.
But then it's funny too because the old school cartoon stuff has been getting a lot of attention now. Like, hey, there's further feedback. That's why I said everyone's gonna like this. I found that Beavis and Butthead thing randomly. I'm like, I love Beavis and Butthead, so
Love it.
this will be a good meme. And then I shared it to YouTube, and then some lady wrote on there. I actually don't recognize her from the lives and stuff, so I don't know how long she's been part of the channel. She's like, I was just manifesting seeing Beavis and Butthead relevant again, and then you write, I love Beavis and Butthead, and then it's like, um, let's go. Then I wore this today. I'm like, you know what? I haven't wore this shirt in a long time. I just happened to be at my parents. It was over there. I showered there, and I'm like, let me take this shirt. And funny enough, I'm like, you know what's gonna pay off?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
When I
funny too what Austin said.
the only
Austin,
thing
this. Oh, sorry. What was that, Gary?
when I'm in Crete, and this is what like I don't watch news. I
Yeah.
don't watch.
Oh yeah.
I
I avoid it the best I can.
So when I'm in Crete and I've got the television in the hotel room and I'm just sort of darting about, you know, the only thing I have on TV is Nickelodeon in the back.
Yeah, I would prefer that. Yeah.
SpongeBob and constant Hey Arnold and like and it's just on constantly. I can't. I don't. Everything else is just if it's English, it's going to be the news, and I'm not going to watch the news. So
Yeah.
at least this makes me laugh, and
Yeah.
if I want to laugh, you know.
Yeah, that's the one thing. It's like I told Lily about this the other day. Everybody knows it's the age gap. She's 42, but I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be a kid forever because that's who I am. I don't want to grow up. It's like, cause life if life is all about creativity and imagination, I'm gonna keep writing comedy skits and going back to doing those whenever I get time. I'm gonna keep and when I write comedy skits or even write movies, I'll put even old school cartoons like Tom and Jerry. So like pretty much like that's I try to keep my house in like a happy environment. There's either cartoons or comedies or something funny from back in the day that makes me nostalgic because as a kid it's like, oh, life is a lot simpler back then. So you look at the TV, oh, nostalgia, and then like I put around stuff from when I'm growing up and then go back to that. So I just try to keep myself in that state instead of like second I start seeing my TikTok get full of either stupid stuff like brain rot or news stuff, it's like I get off or I'll type in Neville's name and then I'll type in Neville, Reverend Ike, manifesting Bashar, and then I'll go like all those videos so it resets my algorithm so I don't get inundated with all that bullshit.
I was watching a video the other day, about an hour and a half. With, I don't know if David Icke. He's
Oh,
uh,
David Icke, the guy from England, right? I like him a lot. Yeah.
yeah, he was basically saying that the news, and I totally believe this, is very, it's just problem, reaction, solution. You know, it's just
Yeah.
it's all a pantomime playing out. You know, you know, everyone's so you know they get so riled up over what's happening, and then a month later you go, "Oh, what was that you were riled up about?" Oh, that's been sorted out now. Now we're on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah,
just
exactly. Yeah, they forget about it's the biggest thing in the well. So then they'll rile you up. You look over here, and then it's like while you're looking at that, they do whatever they gotta do in the background. Like, oh, by the way, this is solved. Good news. And
yeah,
this person who we want you to like, they solved it.
yeah,
So yeah, it's all about that's the matrix programming you if you don't program it yourself. And it's like that's like the default option. It's like that's why like so many old people, it's like they only understand go to work, go home, watch the news, go to sleep, eat the same dip meals, don't question anything. And it's like, and I think the new generation of all of us, even people who are older, who've woken up to the stuff, it's like the Matrix. Once you wake up, you can't go back when you break out of it. Um, but what was the
exactly.
one thing? Oh yeah, and I was to say someone just sent me. It was you. You sent me the spoon bed. There is no spoon.
There is, I love that. But there is no
He
spoon.
always says that too. She talks about there is no spoon.
There is no spoon. Um, One thing I will say as well is, when it comes to this stuff, just enjoy
Oh,
yourself. Oh.
there's my fear. My fear. I thought that was me. I'm like, ah, damn, they better not call me.
um, I've just been learning to kind of love myself a bit more. Like I get my hair like I'm going for. I've learned how to kind of do my hair, like style my hair. I got my little hair salon over here now, hair dry and everything.
Yeah,
I learned sort of. I've been going to instead of going to a barber now. I go to kind of I get my hair done at a professional place, and it just makes me
yeah,
feel pamper myself a bit, and I just
yeah.
feel better about myself.
Keep
Calling.
going. Yeah, manifesting it.
There is no walkie-talkie. You're not at work. You're not at work.
No, I'm not. I'm not. If anyone's watching, this is my home. My office.
This is fine. Nickelodeon time.
Yeah, well, this is the Nickelodeon Studios.
Yeah, I just found that learning just to enjoy myself a little bit, and
Yeah,
take myself, uh, and that could be just going to the gym, but it also, even if it costs a little bit of money, you know, it makes me feel better, and I, that makes it feel better when it comes to manifesting and things like that because you
yeah.
become just a little bit more relaxed, like you know,
Yeah,
do it.
it's like when people say like, "Oh, what 3D action do I take?" It's like, well, the gym is obvious one I always say because that is a form of body and mind connecting, and but not just that. It's like you said, getting your hair styled by a professional makes you feel better. Then okay, so do what makes you feel good. If you have the means to do it, do it. That's your 3D action. Like we talked about, everyone's supposed to watch the news. No, we're going to watch cartoons and things that make us laugh and are funny. Oh, you're supposed to dress this way. No, we're going to dress how we want and we're going to do what we want because it makes us feel good. So by like that's your 3D action, expressing yourself the best that you can. That's where a big thing I didn't really subscribe to like the red pill stuff fully with all the manifesting because it's like, oh, you have to talk to girls like this to get them to act like that. And then I realized, oh, well, in manifesting, I could just like you think like Andrew Tate and all them would be like, you wore a cartoon shirt. Even Jordan Peterson. I like Jordan Peterson, but he's like, you're a grown man. You should not wear things that have pictures on them. Wear a suit everywhere. And it's like, I like my suit, but I am going to do what makes me feel good and comfortable. And I'm going to avoid whatever everyone else does. It's like even it's like if everyone else is doing it and it doesn't feel good to me, I'm not going to do it. That's why I never drank till I was 22. Like I didn't go out and party. I focused on what I'm like. Everyone else is doing that. That's boring to me. I'm going to go do the thing everyone else isn't. And that's like a little bit off topic, but still on topic. It's that made me feel good. That's what kept me in a positive mindset
Yeah,
whenever I broke off with all that.
the thing I found about red pill is it just divides the gender.
Yeah,
Just get people. I mean, red pill is obviously just get a bunch of guys getting together, just bitching,
yeah.
uh, and you.
In a way, it hits a little bit of a victim. Oh, sorry, I cut you off.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You just end up just hating people because
Yeah,
it's one thing that leads to another. Oh, she did this to me. She did that. Oh, women do this. Men do this. Women. I mean, it happens both sexes,
yeah,
both genders. But then what happens is you then start questioning humanity and
yeah.
people.
Yep.
You know.
And then
So
you become cynical, and it's like I already know how people are. That's like their famous line. I'm a realist. A realist is just a pessimist in disguise, in
yeah,
my opinion. And it's like and at the end of the day, you know, you're so it's a even though you're like the tough macho guy and stuff like that, you're projecting that because it's coming from a place of fear, and on top of that, you're playing a victim card because you're stuck in an old, well, this one thing happened and it broke my heart, so I've become this and now I hate everybody. So now you have a negative assumption of your present reality. You relive the past because you're so traumatized by it, you're afraid to, you're protecting yourself in the future. So you've never opened up and you don't become like, you can't fully ever be yourself. You have a wall up. It's like they do everything to protect themselves then. And it's the same thing with like the girls and like that pink pill and then the red pill. And it's like, just be a human being at the end of the day. Be the human being you want to do. If you get hurt, forgive it and forget. It's hard to do, but forgive it and forget and let it go, because the only person getting hurt by that is you, because you're drinking that toxic poison, remembering it again and again and again. And going forward, it's just like you choose. I choose what I want to remember. I choose what I'm experiencing, and I choose what I'm going to experience.
Hmm. Yeah, 100%. In fact, whilst we're talking about circumstances not mattering, I was telling you about this success story last night, actually, with, I won't say which family member, but it was a family member,
Yeah,
close family. And again, I was in Greece a few weeks ago, on the balcony. Um, because of a negative circumstance, actually, that brought us back together, and we started talking again. And that's actually led to more positive services,
yeah,
SP. You know, we had
yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, the SP thing did rely on that other, like the forgiveness and working
that,
through that other thing.
because basically, I had a family member that had an issue with and that, me speaking to another family member because of what happened, and then
Yeah,
me going to their place led me meeting the SP.
yeah,
Wouldn't have happened if the negative circumstance didn't happen.
yeah,
Um, but that's not the success story. The success story was actually theirs. I manifested for them, really.
yeah,
I perceive it as I manifested for them. I was chatting to them, and I remember them saying to me whilst I was on the phone, "Oh, we've all lost. We're all gonna, we're contractors, and we just realised we're all gonna kind of probably not get extended in our contract. We're gonna like lose our jobs." I said, and this is, you get people that believe this. We've got our community,
yeah, yeah,
people that are like, I think there's something there, but I'm not quite sure, and they keep flip-flopping. But there's something, and then you get people that don't, really believe this kind of stuff. But so he's in the middle, and I've said to him, why don't you just assume that you're just going to get extended? Just
yeah,
it's gonna happen. You just forget it. Oh yeah, but I've seen this before. It doesn't matter, but I've seen this before. It's gonna, I've got other jobs. Yeah, okay, fine. I
yeah,
thought going to get extended. Then I was talking to him 2 days ago. Oh yeah, our contract got extended. My contract got. I was like, really? Did
yeah,
it? Oh,
yeah. Because yeah, it's like those people who see it and they believe it. They're hearers of the word, but not doers. But they're hearers with no interest of doing the word, because they just assume that it's like, that's not for me. So in that case, it is where you have to manifest for them. And it's like, I feel like when things are really up against it, but you're also able to detach, that's when like the success comes in. It's like when my mom got sick and was going to die. It's like, yeah, that's a scenario where it's like we have a time crunch. Things are not going good, we're scared right now, and it's like, all right, I have to detach from this. And I knew that. It's like I had to like disassociate from it a little, like, and see her, and think about her and the situation as if everything's already done while you're in that literal life or death situation. And then seeing that, or like you said, with the job getting saved like that, where you're doing it on behalf of someone else, that's where, if we can be that detached for ourselves, things will come in a lot quicker, because that's just the moving to the assumption of like, it is done already and I don't have to do anything. That's like the graduate level, like Neville, where somebody tells him a problem, he hears it, he goes, okay. So in his world, he truly believes that you're good, and because you have so much faith in him, that's where, and I think probably this person that saw you, they probably have a lot of faith in you and your ability to do this too, because they've seen how much effort you've put in and how your life has turned around
yeah.
since becoming a mystic.
We're all
um,
we're all, we're all under the mystic umbrella.
yeah, it was funny. Like, and the only reason I picked that name too was just because Neville talked about it in the one lecture where like the women he overheard women talking shit about him. They were like, "Oh, that's the Mad Mystic of 48th Street or 47th Street or whatever," and he overheard them because I guess they had a he said there was a bookstore selling his book and they had a life size cutout of him there, and he's standing behind them listening to this, and then and they're like, "Oh, you have to go listen to him. He's mad as a hatter," and he's telling the story. It's like he's amused by it, but still, it's like a little bit probably like, especially in those days where nobody else is teaching this, he's solely alone. Like probably a little bit of a hit below the belt. Like, oh man, that people are talking that shit. Like people, everybody. She goes, and the girl's like, and everybody knows that they call him the man. He just found out that everybody's calling him that, and he walks away. So I'm like, oh, that's my little tribute to him. Was like, oh, we'll go with, I'll just be mystic manifesting. Plus, I love alliterations. I just
I,
always use them for stuff.
I I do find that you there's just no, you do find, I think, that there are times, especially like I find, is that you get a little bit almost somewhat isolated,
Yeah,
um, because you're in effect you're it's like you're watching a one person show. You're
yeah,
everything's been projected, but it's there's only
yeah,
one chair in the cinema, and it's your you know
yeah,
you can't. I find it, unless someone already is into this
yeah,
and believes it, it's very. It costs a lot of energy to go around trying to convince someone who doesn't believe it to believe it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's the point where you're just like, okay, you know, I, I don't even, I don't talk about it. Not, I talk about it with you, and I talk about it with
yeah,
people, but I don't talk about it too much. Like, it's like, and I just watch everything. That makes sense.
oh
And
yeah,
that I've started to do is just kind of step back and just watch things happen rather than try and
yeah.
manipulate.
That's the hard part that less is more, and it's like that ultimate. I mean, we assume power is we can force things to happen, and it's like as men especially, we're trained, it's like we're going to lift as much weight as we can in the gym and we're going to control this situation. We learn how to fight, we make a bunch of money. It's like we now control the situation. But it's like the ultimate, and it's like, but by doing all those things, you have to do things to keep a hold of it. And then, I mean, look at throughout history, every powerful man, they've all like almost conquered the world. There's been a bunch of them almost conquered the world, and then they're trying to hold on to everything. But it's like it couldn't be held on to with all the effort you had. But in the end of the day, the person who could sit back, it's like the sage, as the Tao Te Ching talks about. It's like the one who's the sage who just knows that everything is done already. They're the most powerful when they could be powerful with nothing, just sitting by themselves because they give it to themselves in their head. And then through a series of circumstances, this was an example I was going to bring up the other day. Um, you see the guy on, oh, you don't have TikTok. There was this guy, he blew up all over TikTok because they called him Lieutenant Dan. He's missing one leg, and he lives on a boat in Florida. And Florida had a big hurricane, so they were calling him Lieutenant Dan. Somebody made a video. He went viral. But then they're like, "Oh, what's going to happen to him?" Everybody's worried about him, and they interviewed him. Like, "Why are you living on a boat through hurricanes?" And he said, "Oh, well, God told me 7 years ago or whatever, buy a boat and come to Tampa, and then just live here." And I was like, "Oh, damn!" I'm like, and then he goes, and everything's gonna work out because I'm gonna get whatever I want. Now the guy's like now there's all this stuff they're looking into his past stuff. I guess he was like he'd been locked up, he left his family, like all these other things about him. But like I was just focused on the fact of his assumption. He had this assumption that he believed that God told him to go, whether he was on drugs or not. It looks like he might have been. It's like whatever it was, he believed if he went to Florida, good things were going to happen. He doesn't know the reason. He just knew it was like almost like my affirmation. I'm no more than 2 weeks away from miracle. He'll go to Florida and he'll be fine. He got to Florida, goes there, and he survives the first hurricane. Everybody's interested in him now. He defies the police and everything. Does the next one, and now all these streamers are giving him. They bought him $100,000 boat. They're buying him all kinds of stuff right now. Like, and he's got a streaming deal. And it's like all this stuff came out of just his assumption 7 years ago. He didn't know where it was going to go. He just knew good things were going to happen to him. And he knew his goal was that. And I was like, man, that's a good manifesting story. No matter like anything about the guy, it's like there's manifesting right there, but in a general sense.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, it's one thing that, and it's funny. I was saying to you again last night. I said I do think there are people in the 3D that steer you in the direct. Like they don't necessarily, they might not be in manifestation, but they steer you in 3D to get to where
Yeah,
you without realizing. And you kind of, I don't want to use the word tools because they they're my friends, and these are people that I respect and care about. But I'm saying that you kind of, it becomes advantageous in the, there are things in the third dimension that are advantageous to use to your advantage to keep your mind focused in the 3D. That makes sense. Like he said to me one day, he says one day at a time. Oh, one day at a time.
yeah, yeah.
And
I like that.
do you know what I mean? Like you kind of, so if there is something that's undesirable, I think if you just, sometimes you just got to come back to square one. And go, do I really need this thing right now? Like at this
Yeah,
point, do I really actually need it? Because
exactly.
know what I've been working on. You know that I've been,
Yeah,
career, money, SP.
yeah,
Um, one of the biggest ones isn't SP. It's career for me. Um, I've been working on this for a while. It's going to happen. We, we know
yeah,
it's going to,
yeah.
but
One
there's
hundred
been,
percent. We always get whatever we ask for in life.
but we also know that I don't need it at this precise point in time.
No,
So
and actually, with the stuff going on with being anonymous too, and not giving away too much personal information with stuff in your personal life, it's probably more advantageous to not have it at this moment, and it works out in your favor because something just clicked in my head that I'll tell you after the live that it's like, oh, I just saw how that could work out in your favor too. Like, there's so much stuff you have so much stuff going on right now that it works out better.
yeah, yeah. So I think it's very easy to spiral on the anxiety because of the uncertainty more than, whereas in about, you wouldn't know that tomorrow, and you still wouldn't need what it is, or feel like you would have to have what it is you're desiring tomorrow, but
Yeah,
you find that it comes tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? And
exactly.
it would, so it wouldn't have made any difference anyway.
It's almost like I ordered something on like I always use the package order. It's like I ordered something on Amazon the other day. It's like I was expecting it to come next week. I'm like, I really don't care. And then I get an email yesterday. Both your packages are dropped off today. I'm like, I didn't give a shit. I was actually hoping they would come later because I wasn't ready for them. I'm not sleeping at home, so I don't want my shit to get stolen. But it's
Yeah,
like, it's like just like that. You put it off, and it was like it's something I was kind of excited to get. Long story short, it's the spikes for the couch so the cat stops climbing on there while I'm trying to sleep and jumping on my balls. And the other thing was a cat tree for him to go sleep in. So like I was excited for that, and I'm like, man, I gotta wait another week, but I don't really care. I've been waiting this long to get my couch back, and then like next thing you know, there it is.
you're gonna get spikes around your couch.
Yeah, it's like I saw that because SP has it. They're like these plastic, like the thing they put for the pigeons, so the pigeons don't land on buildings. They have them for the
How are you gonna sit down?
No, no, you take them off when you want to sit down, and then like you leave them on the cushions and everywhere else where the cat would not go.
You know, you
This,
know, you know the bed of spikes that
yeah. Oh
like
yeah,
Jing.
yeah. Like the police drop. Yeah, that's my way of deterring him.
Wow.
But sent battery now. Lose all this. I don't know if it would save if I don't turn it off. But maybe on Monday we'll bring you back and do another one. Or, oh no, you're out of town tomorrow, right?
No, I'm in town.
Oh, okay. Well then
I'm
maybe tomorrow, just depending on the timing and stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm on call at the moment. I'm on
Oh,
call
I
tomorrow,
forgot. Yeah, yeah, you're on call.
and I got a few days off, and then I'm into Hong Kong again. But yeah, no, at the moment I'm just chilling, just chilled.
Nice. Well, then we'll try to set another one up either. Well, later today I do have to go to another party, uh, and so I'll be over there at later on. But
Is there any questions? What if you've got a
yeah,
bit
is
more?
there any questions before we go? Real quick ones that will go before 5% of battery. Like,
You got 5%. That's what it is.
yeah, I'm on 5%. It went from 42 when I first came here to sit down. That's why I'm like that's why I was gonna jump off. I was gonna see how long we could go. So
Short
maybe
short fire questions. Go.
yeah, 5 questions till it turns out. But if anyone has any other questions, you could write them in any video because I'll see them, or you could write them in a community post or whatever. I'll see it, or the end of this video because it will still be up. But thanks for joining me, Gary. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We had actually more viewers than usual. And once I charge up my phone, I'll hit you up with a message. Gary's been cooking up some good edits right now. There's a
Yeah,
really
work
good one.
on the next month.
Yep.
In fact,
And then we got.
I'll be working on that now once this live's over.
Oh no, yeah, I was gonna say I'm like I missed whatever you were saying. I'm like it was like talking, but I picked up the end of it. You're like I'll be working after
Yeah,
this.
I'll be working on that now. Yeah, yeah. After the live. Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you always for all that, and I'm gonna have to take care of you with some Mystic merch because I'm gonna have to put in an order because the phone case is destroyed. It's very durable, by the way, guys. The phone case. It's been dropped many times. It's dinged and dented, and it adds character. But uh, yeah, so I'm gonna send you some stuff.
I thought just
Oh,
before.
thank you, Ink. You didn't have to send me nothing, Ink. Don't do that.
Sorry.
No, Ink just sent the $2. Don't. I always feel bad when you send stuff. Don't send nothing. Let's celebrate the first. The wait, it says celebrate their first super on a live stream. Oh, is that what the super like is, or the super thing? I've never knew that. Well, thank you for showing me that too. I was just
You
wondering
know,
about that.
it's my little boy.
Oh, there
He's,
he is.
he's
You don't have to get spikes for him.
Jack. He doesn't like cigars at all. So
Oh, he's the one that runs from the cigars, right?
yeah, he
Yeah,
doesn't shisha. He runs from cigars.
that's funny. It's like my cat loves the cigars because I think it reminds him of my grandma's cigarettes. But um, but with
No,
that, we just dropped to 4%. So I don't want to cut you off, but we will. Me and you will talk later. And thank you everybody for coming in. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.